So today our topic of discussion is alternating currents and alternating voltage. Alternating current is the things what we are going to see. Alternating current, the topic name is, and alternating voltage. The alternating current AC will call alternating current. AC voltage will call. It is not like alternating current voltage. We'll read it as alternating voltage only. So it is like a usage like AC voltage. AC voltage means the voltage associated with the alternating current. So AC voltage refers to, so two things we'll read. One is alternating current. One is alternating current. The other one is alternating voltage associated with the alternating current. Alternating current. These are the two things what we read here, what we discuss in this particular topic. Alternating voltage, we'll call alternating voltage. What is alternating voltage? That is, alternating voltage is the voltage associated with the alternating current. What is alternating? Alternate means something which keeps changing all the time. Okay, something which keeps changing. Keeps changing. So that's how we say that it is alternating. Something which keeps changing, that is called alternating. So that is the to start with. And our why this study we have to do. Our household power supply, household power supply, power supply is AC. We know this one very well. Okay, so that is, so why this AC is used? There are certain uses. Alternating voltages so it is like it comes under uses of AC. Okay, uses of AC voltage. Okay, voltage and current. So what are the uses of AC voltage and current? Why do they transmit to the household as AC? Alternating voltages can be easily and efficiently converted by using transformers. We use by using transformers. By using transformers, alternating voltages can be easily and efficiently converted by using transformers. This is the first part. The alternating current energy, the alternating current energy, the alternating current energy can be transmitted, can be transmitted and distributed and distributed over a long distance. So these are the uses of the, okay, over a long distance. And there is another part over a not just over a long distance, and you can do that with a economical. Over a long, you can transmit over a long distance. Transmission is very economical. So the power losses are minimum. That is a fundamental idea. So the energy loss is minimum. So another important part is that the energy loss is minimum. So these are the uses of AC. The energy loss is minimum for transition, for transmission. So these are the some of the I mean advantages. You can say, what are the advantages of alternating current and alternating voltage? These are the points you can write and you can make a note. So see the, so this is the uses and advantages of alternating current to start with. And now we'll define what is alternating current now. So let us define. So I'll do it like question answers. Later I will share a worksheet also with you with solutions, so that you will understand this alternating current very well. So that contains about, I feel that contains about a 20 to 30 questions. I think I have a set of such questions with answers. I will share with you one worksheet, that one full sheet of answers and questions, and with that you can go ahead. So to start with, define alternating current. Define alternating current. So this is the question number 1, which you can think of. Oh, just a minute. Okay. So define alternating current. This is the question. So let's see this. The answer goes like this. If the direction, if the direction and magnitude of current of current changes continuously with the time, then it is called alternating current. Alternating current. Okay, fine. What is alternating voltage? How do you define that? If the direction and magnitude of, you will replace current with voltage, changes continuously with the time, then it is called alternating voltage. Once I define alternating current, you know how to define alternating voltage. So that's not an issue. So here this is the definition. So then we have the definition I is equal to I naught sine of omega t. This is the simplest way the current will vary. This is called sinusoidal variation, where omega is the angular frequency. You know, it is 2 pi by t and also written as 2 pi f. Hope you understand. This is the sinusoidal variation. Okay, I naught is some value. We'll call it as the peak value. I'll tell you what is that. So you can say this I naught is called the amplitude. Okay. So we define the terms one by one. So can I clear this? Okay, I can clear, I hope. So we write the equation I is equal to I naught sine of omega t. So here, if I draw this curve, what is the curve we'll draw? It is the current versus time curve. So it will be like a sine wave. Hope you understood. It will be like a sine wave. Current versus time curve will be like a sine wave because we defined it like a sine wave. So it will be sine wave. And you have the maximum value that is called the peak value. That is I naught. Why maximum value is I naught? You see, this sine function is having maximum value of 1. See, when omega t is equal to 90 degrees, or you can say pi by 2 radians, then you would say that sine pi by 2 is 1. Then the current reaches its maximum value, that is the peak value. Peak value, that's also called amplitude. You don't have to worry too much about that, but if you know the wave mechanics, that's called an amplitude. Now what is I? We define current at any instant, current at any instant t, and I naught is maximum peak value of AC. Maximum peak value of AC, alternating current. Okay, maximum peak value of AC. And omega is, what is omega? Angular frequency. What is omega? 2 pi by t, where t is the time period, and we can write 2 pi f, where f is the frequency of what actually? Frequency of AC signal. We'll call it as signal. Okay, we'll call it as signal. This current itself is called as a signal. Okay, so this terminology you have to understand. If the signal is some terminology like signal is coming, you should not get confused. I don't want you to get confused if the signal terminology is given. Signal is nothing but the current. Okay, this is a current signal. So it signifies some current. So the current, it's called a current signal. Okay. I hope this is clear, everyone. Now this is the first part. Is this clear? First part, we are introducing the alternating currents today. So what is the graph we have drawn? This is I versus time. So I versus t graph is like a sinusoidal wave. It's like a sin x curve. It's called a sinusoidal. If I'm having spell, I think I'm having some spelling mistakes. I think sinusoidal, SOUDIAL, sinusoidal signal. You can say. I think the spelling wise, I may be wrong a little bit. Please excuse me for that if I am wrong with my spelling. I'm not sure about this spelling, but it's sinusoidal signal. So hopefully I'll write some American English, I think. So whatever the way I spell in my brain, that's how I write. Okay, that's fine. And next, can I go over? Can I take over further? So we'll take over further. And now, what is alternating EMF? Alternating EMF or alternating voltage? Alternating voltage. So what way you will get the final equation looks like? It looks like E is equal to E naught sine of omega t. This is the simplest form what you can write. So now the curve will be like E versus time. E versus time you have. And now the signal is like this. So this is what you have, E versus T. And now this is by E naught. And this is also E naught. Have. And now this is the signals what you are going to get, right? So clear? This one. So what is, and you know what is this? E refers to voltage or EMF at time t, and E naught, the peak value, it's called peak value. And now peak value of the signal, and then you know what are omega and t, that is well known. So can I clear? Yeah. Now, mean or average value of AC, alternating current. Mean or average value of alternating current. It is denoted by IM. IM refers to I, mean. So it is defined as the value of AC it is defined as the value of AC alternating current it is defined as the value of AC alternating current that would send same amount of charge of charge that would send same amount of charge through a circuit in half cycle I'll define what is half cycle and for you. Through half cycle that is sent by steady current in the same time. So I'll define what is half cycle. Please note it. I will tell you what is a half cycle. So that is time wise, it is T is equal to half of the time period. So I'll tell you what is this. You may be a little bit confused of these things. I will know that. I'll explain. It is denoted by IM. I have already written that. So I will define what is half cycle for you. So once you know this, I will define what is a half cycle. Can I clear? So hopefully I can clear this. And now let me define the half cycle. See, when you have drawn the I versus T curve, I versus time, okay? I have drawn something like this, a sinusoidal wave. Okay, I have drawn something like this, a sinusoidal wave. And now, what are the points it will reach zero? This is the one, this is the one, and this is the one. I think I have not drawn the scale. I'll draw this to somewhat accurate scale. I'll try my best to get it somewhat accurate, so that the gap will not be too much. I hope this is a little bit better than the earlier one. Okay, fine. And now you see this. What are the points it will reach zero? So what are the points it will go to maximum? So this is the point 0, right, at 0 time. And now this point, what is this point? So let's work out this. See, this point is 0 means you had to see that the omega t value, okay, omega t is 0. So it is the 0 time, that is pi. And now at this point, the curve is reaching the peak position, that is I naught. So the omega t value should be equal to pi by 2. Okay. So the time wise, it is omega, but we will write in the terms of the omega. We know that 2 pi by t, that is time period. So what is time period? Full time period is the time to complete the full cycle. What is full cycle? I'll let you know. So from this point to this point, okay. So one up, that is one positive, plus one negative, that is called a full cycle. Got it? And now to complete the full cycle, that time, whatever it takes, is called the time period. That is T. Clear? And now omega is 2 pi by T. That is called time period. You all know this one. This is like oscillating pendulum. If you consider the pendulum oscillation, this is the mean position. From here to here, that's a full oscillation. From here you leave it and it has to come back to the original position. Okay, from the point A, if you left the pendulum, it will move like this, that is half cycle, and again it has to come back to the original position, that's called a full cycle. Similar way, so it is coming back to the original position. Here this is one cycle and it will complete the negative part, that is the full cycle. Got it? And now here, where do you see the maximum? That we'll see. So omega 2 pi by t, let's substitute. So 2 pi by t into t is equal to pi by 2. So let's cancel the pi, and t is equal to t by 4. That is at the 1/4 cycle. This is t by 4. And t by 2, this is called half cycle. T by 2, that's called half cycle. That means from this point to this point it has moved, that is t by 2. Got it? And this point to this point it has moved, that is t by 4. This length is t by 4. This amount of time is t by 4. This amount of time is again t by 4. This is how we divide the time period. And now when it is coming back, it is another t by 4. That is the next one. You will see another up, that is downwards, that is 3t by 4. And again another t by 4 will add up, which will form t for us. Clear? Hope I am clear with this one. So what you have to do is 3t by 4 plus t by 4. If you do, what you get is t. That is 4t by 4. That is t. And that's full cycle for you. Clear? Hope it is clear for you what I am doing. So 3t by 4 will give a argument value of omega t, that is about 3t. T is equal to 3t by 4 if I substitute. Okay. 3t by 4, if I substitute, I get the omega t value at about 3 pi by 2. Okay. When t is equal to 3t by 4, you know sine 3 pi by 2 is -1. That's why you get the peak downwards. Okay. And that's the factors. This is the half cycle and full cycle. This is the half cycle and full cycle. Is this clear? Can I clear? Yeah. Oh, fine. Okay, clear this. The next one. So the let's see the instantaneous current. Instantaneous current is given by I is equal to I naught sine omega t. This is the only equation what we are going to use continuously here. And now suppose for a time of dt, a charge dq is transmitted, assume. So I can write the dq as, we know that I dt. So what is current rate of flow of charge? We know that I is equal to dq by dt. We know that it's rate of flow of charge. So I can write dq as I dt. But I, we know that I naught sine omega t. Let's substitute that, it becomes I naught sine omega t, and now dt. Now, as per the definition of the mean or average value of the alternating current, we need to find the charge sent for the half cycle, charge transmitted for the half cycle is what we have to find. Half cycle. So what is half cycle? Half cycle refers to the time t by 2. And now we simply have to integrate. Integral dq is what is integral 0 to t by 2 for the half cycle. So we need to integrate this expression omega t dt. So I naught is out. So integral 0 to t by 2 sine omega t dt. So note it up to this point. We'll integrate this and we'll write the expression, final expression. So clear? Hopefully it's clear. And now the integral q is QAC, the charge sent for the AC for half cycle is about the I naught into integral 0 to t by 2. You have sine omega t dt. Sine omega t dt is what you have. And now I naught sine omega t is negative cos omega t divided by omega. So that's the integral under the limits 0 to t by 2. When you integrate and substitute the limits, the substitution of limits is not that important, but I'm just doing for the sake of derivation. QAC for half cycle is given by, so you get the final expression when you work out, you get 2 I naught by omega. So I'm giving the final expression 2 I naught by omega is what you are going to get. But we know that QAC for half cycle is the mean current Im into t by 2. So we integrate these two, Im into t by 2, because both are QAC for half cycle. So we integrate these, we equate these two. So I get 2 I naught by omega. So omega is equal to 2 pi by t. So we'll use that substitution. So I get Im as 4 I naught divided by omega t. But the factor omega t is actually how much? Omega is equal to 2 pi by t, right? So it is 2 pi. Omega t is always 2 pi. Omega into t is always equal to 2 pi. So we can substitute I naught. So 4 I naught divided by pi. 2 pi. Sorry, 2 pi is what you get. 2 gets cancelled. So 2 I naught by pi is what you are going to get. Okay. 2 I naught by pi. Please note it up to here. Please let me know. Clear? Can I clear this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next one. So we got